UFC 307 main event breakdown. Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree Jr. Okay, folks, this Saturday we have one of the most anticipated matches in light heavyweight history. Why? Because you have two strikers going against each other. These two fighters is every spectator's dream. Two fighters that are willing to stand in the middle of the octagon and exchange. If we see a takedown attempt, I will be very, very surprised. On the one hand, we have Alex Pereira, one of the most, if not the most decorated strikers to ever grace the UFC octagon. Pereira used to be a glory middleweight and light heavyweight champion. Did his kickboxing credentials translate to the UFC? Well, just remember what he did since coming into the UFC 2 years ago. The guy knocked out the reigning, defending, undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Israel Adesanya.
Pereira trying to close! Oh my God!
A champion that to many was as dominant and as amazing as anyone who has ever wore the belt. When Adesanya took the title from Alex, he went up to light heavyweight, and since doing that move, he's been spreading havoc with the results. Pereira beat Jan Blachowicz, beat Jiří Procházka twice, and Jamal Hill once. He essentially walked into the light heavyweight division and owned it from day one. Pereira is a fearsome striker, the kind of guy you cannot make the slightest mistake when you stand across from him. The guy has one of the most vicious left hooks you'll ever see in the game. To tell you that Alex Pereira is the favorite in this matchup is as original as telling you that the sun rises and then sets. Like, I don't know anyone who wouldn't pick Pereira with his record, with his pedigree, and with his past. What makes MMA one of the most amazing sports out there, though, is that anything can happen at any given night, especially when you have fighters as skilled and as experienced as Pereira and Rountree. Which brings me to this. Khalil Rountree is one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. Why? Because of his path, because of his story, because of the way he got where he got. For those of you that don't know, Khalil Rountree used to be a 300-pound overweight kid growing up. The furthest thing from a possible UFC champion. The phrase earned, not given is one that fits Rountree from beginning to end. His story, the way he climbed the ladder, he paid his dues. He's not a big name. He's not someone who razzled and dazzled as soon as he stepped in the octagon. He's someone who took the hard way to get where he is now. Part of Rountree's development was his decision to move to Thailand and actually train with Thai kickboxers. His dedication, his discipline, his devotion to the game is one that made him slowly yet steadily one of the most fearsome competitors in the ring. Rountree's style is stand-up, is striking, is some of the best kickboxing you'll ever see in the game. He's sharp. He's so good at setting up traps, his feints, his fakes. He's a guy who has worked the fundamentals amazingly, and it shows in his game. If you believe in underdog stories, if you believe in fairy stardust, if you believe that some people have a shining light behind them, then Rountree is your guy. And to be honest, I'm one of those guys who believes in these things, and I'm gonna be daring enough to choose him over Pereira in this fight. Is he the underdog? Abso-freaking-lutely. Do I believe that he has some Michael Bisping against Luke Rockhold in him? Yes, he's the guy who nobody thinks is gonna make it. His name is not as known outside of hardcore MMA fans. Not many people know him, but he has all the elements you need to become a champion. And to me, it's not just the skills. He has that belief. This guy started from zero. He wasn't supposed to be here. There is no stress. There is nothing holding him back. Just being in this position is probably something he never thought would happen. And I think he's going to cherish every second he has in that ring. Will this be enough for him to get the belt from someone as dominant as Pereira? Who knows? This is a game of inches. This is a game of details, of mistakes. We've seen some of the most amazing, some of the most unpredictable upsets ever. And to see Rountree beating Pereira would not surprise me at all. Even though I do pick Rountree, I am not sure about the result. We'll all have to tune in and watch. What I can guarantee, what I can tell you about this main event is that you have two of the most elite strikers in the game that will bang in the middle of the octagon. This is a dream come true for anyone. It's as if this match has a rule of no takedowns. I'd be so surprised to see any of them shoot for a takedown. If someone is going to shoot, that will be Rountree. Maybe that's something up his sleeve. That's something that we haven't seen him do and he will try to take advantage of. But if history is proof of what we're about to see, then we're going to see a kickboxing match for the ages. Will it be Pereira? Will it be Rountree? Who knows? Let's tune in and watch.